When we think of fashion, the first thing we think of is, I look good, I feel confident, I have self-expression, the models are beautiful and glamorous. But no one thinks at what cost. Due to fast fashion, a garbage truck full of clothes is burned or dumped in a landfill every second. Fast fashion produces 10% of all humanity's carbon emissions, which is more than all international flights combined. It takes about 700 gallons of water on average to produce one cotton t-shirt. There are people all over the world joining the sustainable movement and making a difference by providing consumers with a choice that benefits our planet.
My name is Margaret Rosita Gale. People call me Maggie. And I'm the co-founder of Rosita Collective. Rosita Collective is a business that we've started just a few months ago, and we make and sell macrame products. When my daughter was doing her A-levels, I had time on my hands while I was waiting for her to do her exams. So I just cut the cord. I thought, I'm going to figure this out. So I sat there, and then after a couple of hours, you realise, oh, this is so easy. And once you understand the kind of principles of it and the amount of thread and a few basic knots, it's so versatile that you can make anything.
What drew you to sustainability?
Well, I think many things, just a gnawing kind of awareness that this is not the way to go, with landfill, with overuse of water, with the chemicals, and of course the low-paid workers. I think fast fashion is a crying shame because we've raised the bar so much, we've given people an expectation that they can have new clothes, whenever they feel like it. And people are throwing away things at a rate of knots. And maybe having some false idea that this is going to help somebody somewhere, and it's not, it's ended up in landfill.
My name is Phoebe Gale, and I'm the co-founder of Rosita Collective along with my mum. So I study law in the UK. I think with law, it allows me to potentially in the future have a job where I can make widespread changes that will benefit the planet. I also think that because I'm really passionate about justice, that kind of ties in with studying law and with the environment. According to the UN, about 800 million people are now experiencing the effects of climate change. So that's with droughts, that's with changing temperatures, that's with changing sea levels, unnatural weather. And those people, majority of them are living in poorer countries, and yet it's the wealthier countries that are creating the pollution, that are creating the climate change, and we're not yet experiencing the same effects that poorer countries are. So fast fashion is actually the second most polluting industry in the world, second only to oil. So that means that fast fashion is more polluting than airline travel, than meat and dairy consumption. And that is an incredibly shocking fact to a lot of us, I think.
Do you feel as if you know pretty much everything there is about fast fashion, or do you think that like you and I both have more to learn about this issue?
I definitely don't think I know everything there is to know about fast fashion. I think all of us need to do a lot of educating of ourselves and a lot of changing the way that we think, our mindsets towards clothes, our mindsets about consumption and how often we buy, where we choose to buy from. And I think all of us can do a lot of learning, myself included.
Textile dyeing is the world's second largest polluter of water, since the water left over from the dyeing process is often dumped into rivers, streams, and oceans. Our fresh, clean drinking water is more scarce than ever before. The harmful chemicals put into our water supply are detrimental to our health, causing severe diseases for those who come into close contact. Studies also show how small amounts of toxic chemicals linked to adverse health effects found on our clothes can also be absorbed in our skin. Although these facts seem out of our control, as consumers, we set and can change the demand to undo the detrimental actions.
About a year ago, while I was on holiday, I started macrame, and then I just found things on YouTube. And we were in the UK at the time, and there was a lot of blackberries in the hedges. And so I started to make a dye with the blackberries. And then I realized, oh my goodness, you can do so much more with turmeric, with baking powder, with vinegar. There's so many variables, and I love to have fun in this way, and I'm quite a messy person. I do just love playing around with colours and seeing what I can come up with. And the dyes are quite haphazard really, because there's so many variables according to the water that you have and the type of leaves or berries that you're using. So there's a lot of variables. It's just a journey, because I've been trying to source more natural materials here. Of course, we can't get everything here in Alain. So I've used some dyes that I can get as well and tried to control how much water I use. But I've not been able to get as many colours as I want or as vibrant as I've wanted. So it's just a journey, it's a process. But if we can use natural dyes, it's fantastic. I love using natural dyes.
Do you realize your influence? Do you see yourself as trendsetters because of your sustainability brand?
Well, to be a trendsetter, I mean, that's a big title. I would love to aspire towards that. And I guess we can all influence people in a small way. And that's my thing, really, that even though we can't bring about the change that we would love to see, we can play a small part.
I don't think I would describe myself as a trendsetter because sometimes it feels like my mum and I are only a small drop in a big ocean. But I do think that we are a positive influence, at least in our city, since we have a lot of friends and a lot of followers from Alain. So I think that if anybody is kind of making positive decisions based on our content, then maybe we are.
When we look at the global lockdown through this pandemic, we can see that society, when there is a will to change, there is a change. And so I think this can also apply to fast fashion, because when people see the real impacts of fast fashion and the exploitation of labour in other countries, I think that we really do have it in our power to make a change, and there must be a change.